Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we're back with another UFC prediction video on the channel. Today giving my predictions for UFC Fight Night Imavov versus Borralho. Now the last prediction video I did was for UFC Shanghai, Walker versus Zhang Mingyang. It went quite well, the picks, apart from like the main event I picked Zhang and he just bottled it with the leg kicks and stuff. I think I also picked Michael Pereira as well, and he lost as well. So a few dodgy picks there, but overall was alright. But we've got a pretty good card this week in Paris. There's some really tough matchups to call. This is probably the hardest prediction video I've made all year. Like some of these matchups, it's so hard to call who's going to win. I have a good feeling, but honestly, it could go either way. So before we get into it, make sure if you guys are new around here and you're enjoying this content, you go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it's really appreciated. So there's quite a lot of fights on this card, 14 in total. Let's hope and pray that none of them get cancelled before the weekend, because it always happens with UFC cards. There's like 5 cancelled fights before the actual fight night. We've already had one with for Ziam pulling out, but we've got Harry Hardwick instead, which is good. But we kick things off with the first fight of the night, which is Bannon versus Sam Hughes. Now, Bannon is a 7-1 Irish woman, 31 years old, on a 2-fight winning streak. Only lost 1 fight in the UFC so far to Bruno Brazil. That was a unanimous decision, but she got a split decision win over Alice Ardaline. I'm pretty sure that was on the other British card, the UFC 304. She won that by split decision. Then she got a armbar over Pooja Tomar on her last fight, and she won that by submission. So overall, it's just not bad, decent record to be fair, 7-1. Her opponent, Sam Hughes, is a 10-6 American woman. Also on a 2-fight winning streak, both wins come by split decision. Not bad wins as well to be fair. Took Dudakova's O and beat Luciano by decision as well. And she's lost. She's currently 5-5 in the UFC, so not the best record overall. She's lost to a lot of people. She's got some decent wins to be fair, but I don't know. This one's hard to call. It's a women's fight. They always are, but I'm going to back Shauna Bannon to get this job done. I mean, both these women aren't great fighters, but Bannon coming off a submission win in the last fight, I feel like she's going to come in here and get the win by decision. And now we move up the card to Rinat Fakhretdinov versus Andreas Gustafsson. Now, Fakhretdinov, 24-2 record and 1 as well. Pretty impressive to be fair in the UFC. He's currently undefeated. We had 1 draw, obviously, to Zaleski, but I mean it's like he's undefeated technically because he lost to Carlos Leal in his last fight, but then somehow got the decision. I don't know how that works, but he managed to somehow rob Leal of that win. It was a unanimous decision as well. I don't know how he did that, but I was happy because I'm pretty sure I bet on him or predicted him to win, so that I wasn't bothered. But he has got some good wins to be fair on his record. Fakhretdinov is quite a good fighter still, even though it's questions over his last win. Gustafsson on the other hand, 12-2 Swedish man, is 34 years old, so both these guys in the 30s, getting on a bit. So he's had 1 fight in the UFC, one in the contender series with a pretty impressive performance in the clinch and stuff. Got the knee to the head win. Then he beat Chaos Williams in his first fight in the UFC by decision. I can't remember who I picked. I think I picked Williams to win that, to be honest. I'm not even sure. But he got the job done. And he looked alright in that fight. So this fight could honestly go either way. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a decision win for either of them. I can't see either one of them getting a finish here. But I'm going to back the Russian man in Fakhretdinov to get this job done. And I'm going to go by decision. And now we move up the card to Brad Tavares versus Robert Brycek. Now, Brad Tavares, how old is he now? 37. His 21-10 record. He's been around a while. He's at 16-10 in the UFC. He's coming off a win, to be fair. Beat GM3 in his last fight by decision. But before that, he's not been on the greatest run really. He's lost quite a few times recently. His last win before Meerschaert was Chris Weidman. Being KO'd twice by Rodriguez and Bruno Silva. Lost to DDP, lost to split into Young Park. So he's not the greatest fighter in the world, is Tavares. But his opponent, Robert Brycek, isn't much better, really. He's a Polish man, 17-6, 35 years old. So both these guys getting on a bit, both 35 plus. He's had 1 fight in the UFC, lost to Ihor Peteria, who I'm pretty sure got cut from the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. And that's his only fight in the last 2 years. In the octagon, he has some good wins, to be fair. Pretty dangerous. Got a lot of KOs. He's got 11 wins in total by KO in his career. And you know what? Regional level, he's quite good. But I mean, going off his UFC record, he only got 1 loss by decision. So honestly, another toss-up really. Both these guys aren't great. But I'm going to back Tavares here. I mean, he looked alright against GM3. Got the job done. So I reckon he's going to get the job done here again. And Tavares is going to win by decision. Now, we move up the card to Sam Patterson versus Trey Waters. Now, this is a good fight, to be fair. Sam Patterson, he's a great English prospect at the minute. I mean, kind of prospect. He's a good contender at the minute. He's looking good. 13-2 on a great run. He lost once to Ashmus in the UFC where he got KO'd, but around that he won the contender series by submission. Got 2 submissions in a row, and then managed to KO Danny Barlow in his last fight, which is very impressive. So he's on a good run with some good wins as well in there. All round 1 finishes as well in his last 3 fights. So I do like him. He's looking good at the minute on a good run. His opponent, Trey Waters, is 9-1. So also a pretty impressive record there. Only 1 loss on the contender series, which he lost to Gabriel Bonfim by submission. But around that, he's got many finishes of his own. He's got 3 KOs, 3 submissions. I mean, he looks good. He's on a 3-fight winning streak as well at the minute. 2 wins in the UFC, both coming by decision. So this should be a decent fight, but I'm going to have to back the British man in Sam Patterson to get this job done. And I'm going to go Patterson by submission. Now, we move up the card to Caio Fernandez versus Harry Hardwick. Now, this fight, obviously, Hardwick has stepped in on short notice. Cage Warriors champion. He's a good fighter. Obviously, has some good wins in Cage Warriors. He's on like a pretty good run at the minute. Has quite a few finishes. Just won a decision in his last fight, but it was like a technical. Some really like clash of heads or something. I don't know what happened there. I think they just stopped the fight at one point and took a decision. But apart from that, he's pretty good. Out of the Hardwick brothers, he's probably the slightly better one because George Hardwick's been losing a couple of fights recently. But he's not a bad fighter. But Fernandez, on the other hand, 10-2, Brazilian man, did lose a split decision to Mark Diakese in the UFC back in 2023. But since then, he's beat Yaya by KO and then beat Graham Coutilese in his last fight by decision, which is pretty impressive because Coutilese is not a bad fighter, to be fair. And overall, I just can't see Hardwick winning this on short notice. He's a good fighter, but Fernandez, UFC proven, he's quite good on a 2-fight win streak as well. I can just see Fernandez winning this fight. I'd love to see Hardwick win. It'll be great for British MMA and stuff, but I'm going to back Fernandez to win by decision. And now we move up to a heavyweight fight. Marcin Tybura versus Ante Delija. Now, this fight, Tybura is 39 years old. He must be retiring soon, man. He's getting on a bit, but it's heavyweight, so it doesn't even matter really. Because there's not many good heavyweights. But he's 27-9 now in total. Actually on a good run, to be fair. Managed to stop Denis. Which is impressive because Denis was like in his last 2 fights he's took 2 undefeated records of Mick Parkin and Jonathan Denis. So impressive that is. Lost to Spivak by submission, but before that submitted Tai Tuivasa, which to be fair is not that impressive. Who hasn't Tuivasa lost to at this point? But overall, Tybura, he's 39, but he's still kind of got it. I mean, he's still better than most heavyweights really. It's not hard, but he's actually got some talent at least. Ante Delija, on the other hand, a Croatian man, 25-6 record, is 35, so 4 years younger than his opponent. It has this is his first fight in the UFC. It's been in PFL and KSW before. Had a decent record in PFL, 8-3. Last loss he got KO'd by Modalski, but he went into a different promotion, won by KO in round number 1. So he has got some decent wins in his career in the PFL and stuff. He is not a bad heavyweight, but he has lost to Marcin Tybura before. That was back in 2015, a long time ago. Lost leg injury, but I'd honestly, this card was so hard to pick, man. There's so many fights that you could just see the other one winning, but I'm just gonna have to back Tybura. to get this job done. I mean, Delija probably could do it. Haven't watched all of his fights, so he could come in here and get the job done. But I'm just going to have to back Marcin Tybura to get the win by decision. And now, moving up the card to Umar Sy versus Brenton Ribeiro. Now, Umar Sy is 11-1 Frenchman, 29 years old. Was undefeated coming into his last fight, and then he lost to Alonzo Menifield by decision, which, like, I don't know how he's done that. I was very confident. I don't know what I think he was massive favourite as well against Menifield, and then he lost by decision. But he's still he's pretty good, to be fair. He's 4 wins by KO, 4 wins by submission in his career. Has 1 win by submission over Tuco Takos in the UFC. Beat Dawoon Jung by decision as well. So it's not like he's beat the best of opponents, but I still think he's got talent. Brenton Ribeiro is a 17-8 record. Has some alright wins in the UFC. I mean, submitted Nurgajai, took his undefeated record, got the Kimura there, but then Nurgajai went on to lose his next fight as well. Then got KO'd by Mirzakhanov in his last fight, but like, and he's been KO'd by Mingyang Zhang as well. So I feel like this is one of the more easier picks on the card. I feel like Umar Sy is going to win this. I know Ribeiro's his last couple of losses have been by KO, but I reckon Sy is going to get this job done by submission. Now, moving up the card to William Gomez versus Robert Ruchala. Now, Gomez is 14-3 Frenchman, 28 years old. Has a bit of an interesting record recently. I mean, won a split decision over Joanson Brito. I'm pretty sure that was a robbery. I can't quite remember fully, but I'm pretty sure it was a close fight, but I'm pretty sure he didn't win that fight. I'm pretty sure Brito should have won. Then he lost a split decision to Haider Emil in his last fight as well. So he's not the most he's quite not the most entertaining fighter in the world. He's all right. I mean, he's got a decent record, to be fair. Got some good wins, but recently not been doing too well, like 2 split decision fights in a row. And Robert Ruchala, on the other hand, is a Polish man, 11-1, 27 years old. His only loss coming to Parnas, who also beat William Gomez in like his first fight, one of his first fights, isn't something. So they've both got a mutual loss there. But in KSW, he's got some very good wins. Ruchala, I mean, don't sleep on KSW. It's a pretty good promotion. To be fair, there's some good fighters there. And yeah, he had the belt. Got quite a lot of wins by finish. He's got he's KO'd some good opponents there. And I don't know, he looks quite good. So it's a case of when he comes into the UFC, is it going to work? Because Gomez is like UFC proven. He's got quite a lot of wins, and Ruchala hasn't. But I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to back Ruchala coming into the UFC to get this job done, and I'm going to back him by decision. Now we move up to the main card. Now Patricio Pitbull versus Losene Keita. Now Pitbull has been pretty active, to be fair, since he's came into the UFC. This is his 3rd fight this year, but I suppose you kind of have to when he's 38 years old. I mean, he doesn't have much time left, really, before he retires. So, fair play to him, getting quite a few fights in. He lost, obviously, to Yair Rodriguez in his first fight, but then got the win over Dan Ige. Didn't expect it. I predicted Ige to win, but that card's weird. All the old guys were winning. Who was it? D-Rod beat Kevin Holland as well. It's just like a lot of things were happening in that card. But got the win over Dan Ige. Impressive, to be fair. Not a bad performance from him. Losene Keita, on the other hand, the Belgian man, 16-1. This guy's pretty good, 27 years old. He's only got 1 loss, and that was a foot injury in round number 1. Around that, he's a very good fighter. Obviously, if you've watched my Octagon prediction videos before, I've talked a lot about this guy. I'm pretty sure he's pretty good. I mean, he's had the belt in Octagon before. He's got many wins by KO, 10 wins in total out of his 16. His last fight was last December. He won by KO. He's just a good fighter. I do like Keita a lot. And to be fair, he's coming to the UFC now. I like it. Pitbull is a tough opponent, to be fair, for your first fight. I don't know. Pitbull could easily win this, to be fair. I do think he could. But I'm going to back Keita to win. I don't think he KOs Pitbull, to be honest. So I'm going to back Keita to get the decision. Now we move up again to Axel Sola versus Rhys McKee. Now, this is an interesting fight, to be fair. Axel Sola is a 10-0 Frenchman, 27 years of age. This is his first fight in the UFC. Was a champion over Ares FC. Impressive to be fair. He defended his belt like 4 times. Had one like draw in there, but around that, there's quite a lot of finishes. He looks pretty decent and good fighter. His opponent, Rhys McKee, 14-6-1 Irishman, 29 years old. Obviously had a weird career. Was in the UFC, fought like Khamzat Chimaev, then Alex Morono, got cut again. Then went on a great run in Cage Warriors, like getting 3 wins by KO. And then came back to the UFC, lost 2 in a row, but got the KO over Frunze in his last fight. That was impressive. Actually, I remember he was the underdog in that fight, and I predicted him correctly to get the win by KO, which was a pretty impressive pick by me. I've got to hand it to myself. But he got the KO in that fight, and yeah, I do think he's a good fighter. Rhys McKee, I think he was slept on before just because he had a couple losses to some good opponents in the UFC. But this fight, I don't know. This is a tough matchup for Rhys McKee and also for Sola, so it might be a good fight. I'm looking forward to this card. To be fair, there's a lot of close matchups. So I'm gonna back the undefeated man. I'm gonna back Sola. Has some good wins over in Ares FC, so I'm gonna back Sola to win by decision. Now we move up again to Bolaji Oki versus Mason Jones. Now Bolaji Oki, 10-2 Belgian man, 29 years old, currently 2-1 in the UFC. Also won the Contender Series. His one loss came to Chris Duncan, which was I didn't expect that, to be fair. He was a favourite in that fight. Then he got submitted, and I'm pretty sure that was like late stoppage where he was out cold and the ref just didn't stop the fight. And then but around that he got a split decision win over Timmy Kuamba, and then also beat Michael Aswell in his last fight. Got the decision win there. I mean, Michael Aswell looked pretty good, to be fair. Quite tough to stay in that fight, and that was a short notice as well. I think he was meant to fight like someone else, but then they pulled out and Michael Aswell stepped in. So got the job done in that fight. Mason Jones, on the other hand, 16-2 Welshman, 30 years of age. Isn't a good run at the minute. He's on like a 5-fight winning streak at the minute. 4 wins in Cage Warriors. Then obviously beat Jeremy Stevens in his last fight. That was a pretty fun fight, to be fair. I hate people saying that, it was entertaining. Then in the last round, Mason Jones literally did all he could to win by just taking Jeremy Stevens down and stuff, which it was a smart performance from Jones. He did look good in that fight. Obviously he was in the UFC before, lost to Mike Davies and Ludovic Klein, but Klein was a pretty good fighter, but did have a win over David Onama. So overall, Mason Jones, I do like him as a fighter. He's pretty good. Only 2 losses in his career, same as Bolaji Oki. So I'm going to back Jones to win this. I like his performance over Jeremy Stevens, so I'm backing Jones to win by decision. Now we move up to Modestas Bukauskas versus Paul Craig. Now Paul Craig is back once again, 17-9-1 now in total, 37 years old. Wonder how many fights he's got left in him, to be honest. Recently, that Rodolfo Bellato fight was incredible. I mean, everyone was picking Bellato obviously to win that, but the fact I can't remember what happened. Was it like an illegal knee or something? My memory's gone blank, but I just remember Bellato faking being out cold and stuff like that. And that was really funny. A really funny Paul Craig fight there. I mean, gotta love it. But got the no contest in that fight somehow. I'm pretty sure, pretty sure he was Bellato was trying to get a DQ win, but it just didn't happen for him. But recently, he lost the decision to Bo Nickel. Got KO cut by Caio Borralho. Got subbed by Brendan Allen. Hasn't been doing too well for him. Beat Muniz, to be fair, but around that, yeah, he's just Paul Craig's. He's a bit washed, isn't he? But we still love him. We still love the Scottish man. Bukauskas, on the other hand, 18-6 Lithuanian man. He fights out of England though, so he's pretty much British in our eyes. He's on a good run, to be fair. 3 wins in a row. His last loss was to Vitor Petrino quite a while ago, and around that, he's pretty good. I mean, when this stint in the UFC, he's only lost once, beating some alright opponents as well. Just beat Ion Kutalaba by split decision in his last fight. So I reckon it should be an easy win for Bukauskas. This, as the younger guy and stuff, he should get this job done. But I don't think he's going to finish Paul Craig, really. He could do. You never know. But I'm going to back Bukauskas to win by decision. And now we move up to the co-main event, Benoît Saint-Denis versus Mauricio Ruffy. Now, this fight could be its own fight night headliner. I mean, this is a great fight for a co-main as well. Benoît Saint-Denis is a Frenchman, 14-3, coming off a win over Caio, which I'm pretty sure was just a layup for him, because I mean, like, he wasn't on a great run. He was on a great run until he fought Dustin Poirier, got KO'd there, then got KO'd by Moicano as well, technically, with like the eye injury. But got shown up in them 2 fights, but then he came back with a win over Prepluek, got the submission in round number 2. But Saint-Denis is a good fighter, to be fair, 29 years old, so he's still got life left in him to get back on his winning streak and stuff. And I do think he's definitely going to be a contender again at this division. Mauricio Ruffy, on the other hand, also a really good prospect at the minute. 29 years old as well. 12-1 record. Only lost once to Manuel Souza, who we actually saw win on the Contender Series recently. So I'd like to see him in the UFC. But since come to the UFC, Ruffy, I mean, he's been really good. Only one win, only one fight has gone the distance to James Lontop. But around that, got KOs for days. Beat Bobby Green. That was an insane KO. That spinning head kick. That was awesome. So this fight is going to be a good one. Both these guys are really good at this weight class. I like this fight a lot. Honestly, hard to call. Both these guys, I've got a chance of winning. Saint-Denis probably best chance of winning is probably by submission. But I reckon Ruffy is going to be able to deal with that. So I'm going to back Ruffy to get the decision. So now, moving up to the main event, Nassourdine Imavov versus Caio Borralho. Now, this is a good fight. Title eliminator, it should be, at middleweight. The winner should go on to face Khamzat, but then Dana made also, I swear I saw a quote saying this isn't a title eliminator because also David is facing Hernandez. But realistic, like, I think he's only said that just in case like this is a boring fight, then David or Hernandez goes and puts in like a submission performance and then gets to win in that fight and like does a better performance. But this one should be the whoever wins this. Like I thought Imavov getting the KO over Adesanya would have put him in line for the title shot anyways. But I suppose it gives time for Khamzat to like, because he's not going to fight soon, is he? So these two fight and then one of them gets the title shot. So it's a good fight as well. Imavov, obviously 16-4 Frenchman on a 4-fight winning streak. Obviously since the loss to Sean Strickland and the no contest to Chris Curtis, but he's looked good. Obviously KO'd Cannonier, which technically Borralho didn't KO Cannonier, but Imavov did, which is interesting because Borralho basically KO'd him and Imavov got the dodgy stoppage. But then he beat Brendan Allen, then obviously KO'd Adesanya. So Imavov is looked pretty good at the minute. Borralho, on the other hand, 17-1 record, only one loss in his career, which came back in like his second ever fight in 2015. Since then, he's looked really good. I've got to say, 7-0 in the UFC. He's had 2 fights on the Contender Series, to be fair as well. Won both of them, but he's impressive. I do like Borralho. Wouldn't beat Jared Cannonier in his last fight. KO'd Paul Craig, beat Abbas Magomedov. So obviously, I don't know point even explaining this. This is a toss up. I reckon it could go either way. It's going to be a decision win. I'm pretty sure. I couldn't see either of these two finishing each other. So I'm going to back the Frenchman in Imavov to get this job done. That KO in his last fight was impressive. Borralho he's been impressive, but I just reckon Imavov is going to get this job done by decision. So there are my picks for the UFC Fight Night, Imavov versus Borralho. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my picks. And that's going to be all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.